Hello and welcome to this devlog of Rocket Explorer 0.7. My name is Casper. I am Stanley Creative, as you can see below and on this channel and stuff. A few days ago I released update 0.7. Let's talk about what I made in this update. First of all, let's talk about the rockets, because every update I try to get some new rockets in there and improve some of the old ones I have. So I got the Delta 4 Heavy and the Medium in there, and the Medium has some different configurations, so I made those as well. And then I made the Vega rocket, the Ariane Space European Space Agency rocket. And then I got my first Chinese rocket in there, the Long March 3B, which I actually live streamed me making that, so you can check that out on this channel as well. And then I made the new lunar lander Starship that we've seen SpaceX reveal along with NASA. So that's in there now. That's basically all the new rockets. There's also some other cool improvements to the Starship, and there's some fixes to, for example, Electron. That was a little bit too tall, so I made that exactly 17 meters high, which I think it is in real life. I can't remember it now, but it's correct now, believe me, trust me. Can you actually see that screen? This is my notes and my recording. I got this new little 4x3 screen free from my parents. So yes, productivity increasing. Very nice. So while we're talking about this new Starship, I improved my configurations. So when you go in and you can change the different configurations of rockets, for Starship, it's a little bit different because it can fly with the upper stage alone, and that's unique. But I wanted a general solution for being able to move it down and move parts in general down on different configurations. And yeah, that works now. So now when you choose the Starship, it's not a completely different model that's by the ground. It actually just moves that Starship down and hides the first stage, the Super Heavy. So that works now, and that's a general solution that I can use if any other rocket company chooses to just use their upper stage, which I can't imagine, but I don't know, maybe in the future. I also improved the comparison. So when you compare rockets, as you see here, now they all have an equal distance between them. So the problem was before that wide rockets clipped into each other and small thin rockets were very far from each other. And that was because I had an equal distance between them. I think it was 15 meters. And if you have two 9-meter diameter rockets, that's going to be 18 meters total, and then they're going to clip into each other. So I had to fix that. So now every rocket has the data for how wide it is, including boosters and stuff like that, and also for the different configurations. Some are wider than others. So all of that had to be made, and that was a little bit difficult. The most challenging part was actually updating when they're moving and when I'm removing a rocket and switching them around. I might be rambling a bit, but for example, when you swap two rockets, you can't just adjust the widths for those two rockets. The other rockets also have to move, which was something that I didn't do before, so I had to change that entire system. But it works perfectly now, and there's always, I think, 5 meters between every single rocket. And I think it looks much better, so improve the product. Related to this, you'll also notice when you compare rockets, when you choose a new rocket, it doesn't actually show up until you confirm that that's the rocket you want to add to the comparison. So before, you had a little bit of a preview and you could see the rockets when you switch between them and choosing a new rocket. Now it's actually hidden way below the ground, but then it moves up right when you click confirm. And it was just because it was a total headache to make it sit in the correct position and smoothly move down to that correct position with the new equal distance. A little bit of hack, but it looks much better, I think, actually. Also, when you compare stuff, now it has a little bit of a fancy fade animation. So instead of it just hiding stuff immediately, they sort of dissolve into nothing. And I think that's just cool. I added a settings menu. So now you can tweak the volume, you can tweak the resolution and quality and full screen. Yeah, and it's all very nice and dandy, and you can just click cancel and it will erase all the changes you did, and it's very neat. While we're talking about the menus, I also improved the VR. For you guys that are playing on the Oculus, sadly it's only Oculus for now. I'm really working on allowing everyone with a VR headset to play it. I want to integrate Steam VR which has support for a lot of headsets. But for you guys playing on Oculus, you can now take the menu with you, or it just follows you. So you don't have to go back to the start position to change the rocket and then walk around and teleport places and then come back again. It actually just follows you, just like it does when you play the desktop version. There's a lot of other improvements to the VR as well. I moved some menus up and scaled, and I think it's just a little bit better for VR now. A lot of menu work has been done. So another thing is end-to-end buttons. So when you are choosing a rocket to view, you can now skip to the end. It's just gonna allow you to skip right down to the Vulcan rocket right at the end, and then it was a quick, easy implementation until I get enough time to maybe make an alphabetical slider or something. I've thought about some different stuff to do, but this was a quick, easy implementation, and I think it helps if you want to go down to the rockets that start with S, like the Starship. I can imagine that a lot of people want to see that. So while we're on the menus, I also added a sort of color scheme to the buttons. So now they're all either white, blue, or yellow. And that's the same colors you've seen in my thumbnails and a lot of other graphics I've done. And I'm just trying to unify it all in one branding. Yeah, I like it. I know the menus aren't as good as they could be, but I mean, yeah, feedback is, again, welcome. But I haven't spent a lot of time on making the menus actually nice, because I think that's a late stage thing, as long as they work at the moment. And then to round it off, there's a lot of small updates and fixes, and I think I can just hit on those in a rapid fire sort of way. So first thing, configurations. Before, if you had gone into a rocket and choose another config, and then choose another rocket, and then go back to the previous rocket and go into the configuration again, some stuff would be hidden, like it would miss the second stage or some boosters or some stuff like that. And so I just fixed that right now. So now it remembers the config that you've put it in, and yeah, nothing is hidden and it's all good. Another thing was comparing rockets. Sometimes it would flip the state of the tower and the water deluge system. So it would show them while you were comparing, and then when you exited the comparison, it would hide them. I don't know why. I fixed that. I updated the particles for all the rockets, and I added lights, so now they sort of shine and light up the environment a little bit, and they look more dense and nice. I think I just improved it a little bit until I can really make them look good. I really want some cool marked diamonds and stuff like that. When you pause the game, it actually stops time now, so that's good. When you open a menu, it closes all of the menus unless it's the pause menu. So you can't have multiple menus on top of each other now, and I think that's much better. There was 2 bugs with launching rockets. So one, after you had launched the rocket and you canceled the launch, it would just continue, like it would move the rocket back down and then it would just slowly move up again, but without the particles. That was whack. I fixed that. And then another one was if you launched the rocket and then switched rockets and then went back to the other rocket, it would just still be up in the air. Yeah, I fixed that. It's all of these fixes are mostly thanks to feedback from you guys playing it and my friends playing it, and yeah, a lot of testing, and it's awesome. So thanks. Oh shit, I spilled down myself. Rip coffee. So let's talk a little bit about future stuff. Obviously, you'll see more stuff on the Patreon throughout the month, but I'll just give you a little bit of insight here at the end of this video. Before you do, you can like the video because you've watched all this, and algorithm. You can also subscribe so you can get these updates in the future and cool animations and other stuff. See, I'm good at this. So future stuff. I really want to give access to everyone in VR. I'm really gonna look into Steam VR, or maybe I'll do some hacky stuff. VR version is actually on another version of Unity. That would be really annoying, but I might have to do it just to give everyone access to VR. I think it's an awesome experience to see rockets in front of you, and that was how this whole thing started. I really want to get that out there, so I'll look into that. Obviously, more rockets. I think it would be fun to have a sounding rocket, maybe the V2 rocket, because it's sort of kickstarted rockets, but it's also a missile, And I'm not sure what weapons, but then again, it's sort of blurred lines between rockets and missiles. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Obviously, I want a lot more rockets from around the world, so I'm gonna do that. And I might live stream me making another rocket, so tune in. Again, as I said, I want to improve the look and feel when I launch rockets, so the particles and the sound and just the feel. Maybe when you're playing on the desktop version, not the VR, I could have some screen shake to give it that feel. I don't think that's very comfortable in VR, just shaking in front of your eyes. And then on some bigger things, I think I've mentioned it before, but I'm gonna start working on a sort of rocket hangar where you can view rockets laying down. I think that's a cool way to view rockets because you can walk down the length of them and it's a whole different experience than seeing them up in the air and you can't really see the scale of them going up there. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Please consider supporting me on Patreon and help me do what I love. I also do a lot more than just Rocket Explorer, so you can also just support me doing videos and renderings. You might have seen me on some of your favorite YouTubers' rocket shows. I think that's really awesome. They're my favorite YouTubers anyways. So I just want to give a shout out to them for getting my name out there, sort of, and to you for watching. Support me, try Rocket Explorer, have fun. You can also try the free demo, rocketexplorer.space. That's the website. Have I plugged enough things now? I think. Can we just fade me out now? Just fade me out, have a cool outro. And I just want to give a huge thank you to my producer level patrons, Tim Dodd, NielsNB, Felix Schlang, Andrew Law, Anush Patel, and Marcus House. Thank you. You rock. Okay, I think that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna go back to work. This is also work, I guess. Okay, bye.